Hey there, and welcome to the Quantum Success Show. You can see I have a very good looking man next to me. We are actually going to be doing a few shows as a couple. I've been dying to get Frederick to do some shows with me for many years, and he just always said I'm not ready because we would have these amazing conversations just at the dinner table or at the breakfast table. And I'm like, people need to hear this stuff. Like, people need to hear how we communicate, how we talk about our kids, how we work with the functioning of the household, how we fight, how we argue, how we create a vision for ourselves. And so that's what we're going to be talking today. In the next three shows, we're going to be digging deep into three of the top 7 things that couples, whether you're starting new in a couple, if you're in a partnership in work, but if you're in a married couple, what are the things that you really want to communicate with? And we have our lovely Rob with us. You can't see him, but you'll hear him in the conversation today. Hey, Rob.
I'm the disembodied voice that comes across this.
The voice
I'm
of
the
God.
referee in case it all goes wrong and it gets out of control.
And of course, we have Frederick. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone.
I'm
nice
glad
to be
to have you
here. We decided that we are going to call it Breakfast with Christy and Fred.
But there's no food, so
Yeah, where's our
So that's
breakfast?
I got
Useless.
food, but I'm off camera, so.
eat. So anyways, we are talking about the 7 things that you really want to be able to communicate in your relationships. And the one that we're going to talk about today is really creating a vision. So the 7 things that you want to have are your fighting style. How do you argue? How do you disagree? How you're involved your families are going to be in your marriage, or how involved they are, your philosophy of taking care of your house and the household things, how to handle money. Money is a huge one. Your sex life. Let's talk about sex, baby.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, anyway, your spiritual beliefs or your personal growth, and of course, your vision for the future. And that's what today's show is all about. Because one thing that Frederick and I always do, and we even do this with our kids, is we create a vision of what we want to have happen, whether it's for an evening. Like last night, we went out to dinner with my cousin Natalie and her husband Tim, and we told the kids, this is the vision. I want to have fun. I want you guys to listen. I want to enjoy ourselves. We put out an intention, right? So we have intentionality in the things that we do. When we go on a trip, we share what the expectations are. If we're leaving for a trip and Sophia is going to take care of the boys while we're gone, we let them know what our vision is for ourselves, but also for them. And we do this as a couple as well. So it's really important because you want to be able to discuss, like, whatever phase you're in your relationship, what do you want to do together? What do you want to create together? We talk a lot of times about where do you want to go next? Like, where do you want to travel? If you could go to the next place you want to travel, where is that? And we put that as, that's how we create the different places that we've been. So what do you want to say about creating a vision?
Well, yeah, it's not just a once in a year kind of thing. A lot of people will figure out, okay, let's work on our vision for this year together. And I think a lot of people get lost. At least I do. I get lost if you come and ask me, okay, what's our vision for the year this year? And I'm so general that I'll be, okay, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my time. But if we look at it from the perspective of every time we go out, like you just said, right, or every time that there is an opportunity for us to go and travel somewhere. Now, so what's our vision when we are together traveling? Even when we take some time, 3 days, for example, in San Diego, what's our vision? How do we want to spend our time together? Mm. So we sit down together and we kind of plan it out, right? We say, okay, let's go take a walk on the beach. Let's do some workouts. Let's enjoy some time together, and we'll work on our eating. Well, whatever it is. I mean, that's for me. That's creating our vision together.
Well, I
these
love
little moments.
And I love what you said too, because there's the general vision, which is more of the energy, the essence, the feeling that you want to have. But then there's the actual image, right? Do you want to live in a condo by the beach when you retire, when you get older? Do you want to, do we want to save all our money now and not travel, or do we want to travel when we're older? Do we want to do a little bit of both? I mean, for you to know, like, he's a big sports guy. I enjoy sports, but I would never go, hey, I want to go to a Suns game, right? But he likes to go to hockey games, and so that's part of the thing that we like to do. I'm a rocker chick. I love to go to rock, shows. He's not much of a rocker guy, but he sure enjoys watching me rock out at a concert. So these are things that we discuss in our visions of what do we want to create and how do we want to spend our time? But the general part is how do we want to feel? Because when you're creating a vision, there's the actual visualization of what is the vision. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself going dancing, going to sporting events? Where do you see yourself living? If you're living in the East Coast and you're seeing yourself wanting to retire in, warm climate, if one wants to stay in cold and one wants to go to warm, you kind of have to negotiate and talk about and compromise what you want and create a vision that's clear and consistent for both couples, for both people in the couple. And, that's one of the things we're actually doing our first, and I'm so thrilled because for years we've been having women that have gone to my goddess retreats and saying, when are you guys going to do a couples retreat? And so every time for probably about 10 years, I come to Frederick and I say, they want a couples retreat. And he's like, I'm not ready. And so finally, a few months ago, he said, I'm ready, which it thrills me. And so we have room for 10 couples to come and visit us in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're staying at a beautiful resort. And we're going to do some healing on stuff from the past, because the stuff of the past, the contrast, the things that didn't work, that weren't fun, we get to release the energy of that and then really rebirth, like, what is the vision? From that contrast, what's the clarity of now what you do want in your marriage? And how do you want to feel? So Frederick is very general. He's just, I just want to feel joy all the time, right? And I'm like, okay, there's the essence of that. And then how does that look? What does that look like? Where are we going to experience the joy? Are we going to experience the joy in Paris or Rome or, on a beach in San Diego, or, where is that joy going to manifest itself? And so we have very different styles of manifesting and of thinking and being, but we merge them together by the communication of what our vision is. You look like you're just
Well, I think
over
that's
there.
great. Now, you got questions? Of course, that's the reason you brought me
Of
on board,
course.
to bring all the dumb questions I had. When you guys, before you start this, when you plan something together, is it almost a formal sit down? We're going to talk about this ahead of time, or is this something that just through osmosis, not osmosis, but through daily
It's
life, you
both.
kind of figure out?
Yeah, it's both. So I'll even say to him, hey, let's talk about our week. What's the vision for the week? What's got
So it's
going-
not just vacations or going out to dinner; it's every day.
It is.
Oh yeah,
But
it's,
it
it's
isn't a-
sitting down together and
But is
looking
it-
at our monthly calendar, for example. That'll be more of a formal, if you will, right? That's the answer. Yes, we sit down together and we say, all right, let's look at the calendar for the month or what's going on this week.
So that's just a habit that you've gotten into as a couple,
Yeah.
that most people, because you find that couples, we got separate bedrooms, and it could be just an issue. She likes it colder, I like it hotter, or vice versa, or something along those lines. But you just kind of let things happen, and things happen, and you always hear we just grew apart. Well, that's because they didn't actually formally or consciously sit down and talk about what their vision is for each
Right.
aspect of their life. And I think this is something new that some people really need to.
Well, it's exactly
It's
right.
like coming up with a budget together, only it's coming up with a goal for your life.
It
together.
is. It
Okay.
is because you could either create by default, like just letting life happen, and
Which I think 99% of us on the planet do.
Most
me
people
included,
do.
right?
Exactly.
Or you are a deliberate creator, which is what I am and he is, and which, people that watch this show, that's what they're wanting to become more of, is deliberate in their intentions and what they want to create. So it's for the individual, and that's why it's important, because when you come together as a couple, you have two different individuals, and there's this thought in society that, oh, we become one. No, we don't. He's still himself, breathing on his own. I'm myself. I have my own ideas, my own visions. And then he has his own ideas and visions. And what are they together? Because when you come together as a couple, you're creating a third entity. You're creating something that is not just of me, of him, but you're creating something that is, it creates itself. It creates a different breathing organism called a romantic relationship or a partnership in a business or whatever the relationships are that come together. And so that thing needs energy. It needs attention. They say that some of the best couples these days, there's the most healthiest couples, they're the ones that are going to couples therapy. They're the ones that are going and, like Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, she talks about in her newest book that they went to couples therapy. And it's most people that don't take the time to invest in themselves and then in their relationships that have difficult times in relationships where they start to settle.
And usually by the time you've decided to go to couples therapy, it's pretty much over at that point. So what you're suggesting is that you get to talking long before it reaches the point of this is it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You
That's
have to
it.
feed the relationship.
There's that concept of, okay, let's go to therapy because there's a problem that we
Yeah.
can't fix. And you're right. You're at the point where it's too late now.
Yes.
So let's try to save it and go to therapy. But there's the other side of that where your couple is fine. You're doing
Doing
good.
great.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that you need to look at for sure. And in every relationship, we're not, nobody's perfect.
No.
Sure.
So why not take some time together and partner up and just see what's going on with the other person, right?
And communicate and share that vision. So we're going to wrap up today's segment, but this is really important. So if you're in a partnership, if you're entering into a partnership, Frederick and I met doing inner work. We met at a personal development
event.
conference. So both of us already were interested in, developing ourselves, and then we knew the importance. So we've been going to therapy since we started our relationship, and that's the reason that we got through some of the tough times. And we just went on a couples retreat ourselves, and we didn't go on the couples retreat because there was a problem. We went because we wanted to elevate. One lady said, "Oh, I don't need a couples retreat. I've been together with my husband for 30 years. We're fine." It's like, that's fine. If you want a relationship, that's fine. We don't want a relationship that's fine. We want a relationship that's passionate and fun and joyful, and we want to grow with each other. And I'm still learning about him. It's been 12 years, and he's still learning about me. And each one of us are in the state of becoming. Each one of us, to the day that we die, we're growing and expanding. And so, when you're in a couple in any type of relationship, there's always energy. When you shift, the energy in the relationship shifts. So there has to be this communication and this common vision. So I'd love to hear your comments. If you're in a relationship, do you do this? Do you feel that you need this? We do have a couple of registrations available if you are interested in working with Frederick and myself in February in Scottsdale, Arizona, where literally we're going to help you release the stuff of the past that just is there. It's like, old stuff, old junk that doesn't need to be there anymore, so that you can bring in the essence and energy of what you do want, so you can create the vision for your future and deliberately live into that future. Any last words, babe?
You said it.
Have a great week, everybody.